The stars were quiet tonight. No warships in the sky. No drones in the trees. Only peace. John sat on a rock at the edge of a cliff, holding the baby in his arms. The child's soft glow bathed them in pale golden light. It wasn't bright like before, just enough to shine in the dark, like a tiny sun learning to rise. The alien mother sat beside him, her eyes lifted to the stars. They didn't speak. They didn't have to. For the first time in weeks, there was no need to run. No need to hide. They had survived. Behind them, Livewire's ship was parked and quiet. Inside were supplies, gear, and a path to anywhere in the galaxy. Freedom was finally in their hands, but John wasn't thinking about where to go. He was thinking about who he had become. Not long ago, he was just a lonely man in the woods, a soldier with no war, a heart with no purpose. Now, he was a protector and something more. The baby reached up and touched John's chin. John smiled. "You like the stars, huh?" The baby giggled a soft sound, half human, half alien. "All life." The alien mother looked over. "He knows you're his," she said quietly. John looked at her. "But I'm not his blood." She shook her head. "That doesn't matter. You didn't protect him because of blood. You protected him because you chose to." John didn't reply. He just looked at the child again. And then suddenly, the baby said its first word. "Da." It was small, soft, but clear. John froze. He looked at the mother. She nodded, smiling with tears in her eyes. "He's been trying to say it. That word's not from my language, it's from yours." John's chest tightened. The baby said it again. "Da." John held the child close. "I'm here," he whispered. "I'm right here." From the ship, Livewire stepped out, stretching. "Well," she said, "the galaxy's wide open. Any place you want to go?" John stood up slowly, still holding the baby. "Somewhere quiet," he said. "Somewhere safe." Livewire grinned. "I know a moon near Orion's tail, not on any map. Clean air, good food, weird birds." The mother tilted her head. "Weird birds?" Livewire laughed. "Big ones, fluffy, you'll love it." John looked at her. "And you?" "I'll stick around for a while," Livewire said. "Maybe teach this little guy how to control that glow before he burns another hole through a mountain." John chuckled. "Deal." They began walking toward the ship. The mother touched the grass with her fingers one last time. "He'll need a name," she said. John looked down at the baby. "What about Nova?" The mother blinked. "That means star." John nodded. "He lit up the dark, saved us all. Feels right." The baby cooed, smiling. "Nova," the mother whispered. "Nova it is." The ship's door opened. Lights blinked. Gently, they stepped inside, not as strangers anymore, but as something new. Not a soldier, an alien, and a child, but a family. As the ship rose into the sky, the forest below faded into shadow. The stars above opened their arms. And somewhere, far behind them, the Nexus Hive searched empty roads and empty signals. But they would not find them, because Nova was no longer alone. He had a mother who gave everything to protect him. He had a human who chose to love him. And together, they were more than survivors. They were hope. The snow no longer felt cold. It felt like danger. John carried the alien baby close to his chest, wrapped in thick blankets. The mother limped beside him, weak but alert. Behind them, the cabin still burned, flames licking the sky. "They're safe." Place was gone. No turning back now. They had one chance left. John pulled out a small metal disc from his coat. It blinked blue and showed a single word: Livewire. Not a place, a person. A name from John's past, someone who owed him a favor. Someone who once said, "If the galaxy ever turns against you, find me." Now was that time. They moved through the trees, snow crunching under every step. Wind howled. Branches creaked. But John didn't stop. The baby was glowing again. Just a little, a slow pulse, like it was sensing something behind them in the distance. A sharp, high-pitched whistle echoed through the forest. The alien mother froze. They've released seekers. John cursed under his breath. They're hunting us like animals. Seekers. He remembered those from the war. Machines shaped like snakes, fast and silent. They tracked by heat and scent. If one found you, more would follow. We need to move, John said. Fast. The mother nodded and pulled her hood low. For hours, they hiked through the wilderness. The trees grew thicker, the cold sharper. John's breath steamed in front of him. The baby didn't cry, didn't move, just watched, quiet. Too quiet. Then it happened. The disc in John's hand turned red. Warning. Motion detected. John looked. Ahead. The path split. Left deep forest. Right an old bridge over a frozen river. He chose the bridge. As they crossed, the ice below groaned. The wind picked up. Snow flew sideways. Then he heard it. Slither. Hiss. John looked back. 3 seekers crawled out from the tree's metal. Bodies twisting like vipers, eyes glowing red. Run! He shouted. The mother ran ahead. The baby tightened in his arms. One seeker leapt toward John. He ducked just in time as it crashed into the railing. Metal fangs snapping inches from his face. He dropped a flash grenade behind him and kept moving. Boom! The light exploded. The seekers screamed and spun blindly. But not for long. They were fast learners. John reached the other side of the bridge and shot the supports. The wood cracked and broke. The bridge collapsed behind them, taking 2 seekers with it. Only one remained. It slithered up the side of the frozen cliff like a demon from the dark. John aimed his rifle. Click. Empty. Before he could reload, the seeker launched itself at him. Then out of nowhere, a bolt of blue lightning shot from the trees. Zap. The seeker's body burst into pieces, sparks flying everywhere. John turned, eyes wide. A tall figure stepped out of the shadows. A woman in a long black coat, goggles over her eyes, and strange gloves that crackled with power. She smiled. You always find the weirdest company, John. John blinked. Livewire? She nodded, in the flesh. The alien mother stepped forward, weakly. Who is she? John answered simply. A friend. And hopefully, our way out. Livewire looked at the baby. Her smile faded. That's the child? She whispered. The core spark. The baby looked at her. And for a brief second, just one, the air around him shimmered, like heat waves. Livewire stepped back. That's not a baby, she said softly. That's a living star. John took a breath. Then help me keep it burning. Asterisk. The sky cracked open like glass. A massive ship broke through the clouds, black, silent, and shaped like a claw. No engines roared. No lights blinked. It moved like a shadow crawling across the stars. John, Livewire, and the alien mother watched from inside the hidden mountain bunker. John's voice was low. They found us. Livewire stepped back from the radar. That's not just a search ship, she said. That's a Nexus Prime-class hunter. They didn't come to talk. They came to end this. The alien mother held her baby tight. The child was quiet, glowing softly in her arms. Then a deep voice echoed through the bunker, through the air itself. Give us the child, the hybrid, and the human protector. Surrender peacefully, or we will take all by force. John looked up at the speakers. How are they in our comms? Livewire frowned. They're not. That wasn't a message. That was a direct thought transmission. John's eyes narrowed. Telepathic? Livewire nodded. Very advanced and very serious. The alien mother stood slowly. Her hands shook. Her voice did not. I'll go to them, she said. They want me. Not you. John stepped in front of her. They don't want just you. They want the baby, And now they want me too. I'm not letting them take any of us. She looked at him with tired eyes. Then we all die. John didn't flinch. Maybe we fight. The baby reached for John with tiny fingers, and something strange happened. John felt warm, strong, like the baby was giving him part of its light. Livewire's scanner beeped wildly. She stared at the screen. John, his connection to you, it's growing. The core spark is choosing you. John looked at the baby, stunned. Choosing me? The alien mother gasped. That's not possible. It only chooses its bloodline. Livewire slowly smiled. Maybe it found something stronger than blood. Outside, the Nexus ship landed. The mountain shook. Dozens of black armored soldiers marched out in silence. At the front stood a tall figure covered in golden armor, his face hidden behind a mask. Livewire's face turned pale. It's Executor Narth, one of the Nexus elite. John checked his gun. Then we hit him hard. Livewire laughed once. You're out of bullets, John smiled. I've got something better. He turned to the alien mother. We have two ways out, he said. You go to them and lose everything. Or we fight together and maybe, just maybe, win. The bunker shook again. Doors hissed. Lights dimmed. They were breaching in. The mother hesitated. I'm tired, John. I've run so long. John stepped forward. Then stop running. Stand, for him. He pointed at the baby, who was now glowing brighter than ever. The mother's eyes filled with tears, but this time, not fear. Strength. She stood beside John. Livewire charged her gloves. Let's light them up. The wall exploded. Nexus soldiers rushed in. John tackled the first one and grabbed his weapon. The baby's glow burst into a blinding light, blinding everyone but John. The core spark was shielding him. John fired, fought, protected. The alien mother fought beside him, her body glowing with power. Livewire fried a dozen soldiers with electric pulses. Then, Executor Narth entered. Tall, silent, deadly. He raised his hand. Everyone froze literally. The air turned to ice. Even time seemed to stop. John dropped to one knee. He couldn't breathe. The baby cried out, and the sound shattered the ice. Light exploded from the baby's chest, throwing Narth back. John rose slowly, his voice steady. Leave. Now. Narth stood, body cracked, mask broken. He looked at the child one last time, then vanished in a blink. The Nexus soldiers followed. Silence returned. Only the fire alarm beeped. Livewire sat on the floor, panting. That was insane. John looked at the baby, still glowing in his arms. We didn't win because we fought hard, he said. We won because we chose not to give up. The alien mother placed her hand on John's shoulder. You are his father now, not by blood, but by choice. John held the child tighter. And for the first time, the baby smiled. Blood that glowed. John had never seen anything like it before. He stood over the alien mother as she slept near the fireplace. Her deep wounds still oozed soft blue light, not red like human blood. He pressed a damp cloth against her side. The skin was different, not just alien but marked. Symbols like tattoos lined her ribs, not drawn, but burned into her skin. The baby slept nearby, wrapped tightly. The room was quiet. But John's mind wasn't. Something was wrong. The deeper he looked, the more questions appeared. Then, as he turned to rinse the cloth again, he noticed something strange. A wound near her upper back, small, round, and shining with a silver ring. Inside, he gently pressed around it. Click. Suddenly, her body jerked. A faint sound came from beneath her skin. Bzzt. John stepped back fast, gun in hand. From the center of her shoulder, a tiny metal capsule popped out and landed on the wooden floor. John stared at it. The capsule blinked once, twice, then projected a beam of light straight into the air. A new hologram appeared, not just images this time. A recording. The alien mother's voice clear, strong, and full of fear filled the cabin. If you are seeing this, I'm already gone. Please listen carefully. My baby is not normal. He was born in a lab. Grown with stolen DNA. He carries both human and alien blood. John's eyes widened. The Nexus Hive created him, but they couldn't control him. His body holds something they want. Something ancient. Something powerful. They called it the core spark. The recording showed a glowing orb hidden inside a baby's chest. It pulsed like a second heart. Then the scene changed. Scientists screaming, machines exploding, then silence. He's the only one who ever survived with the core spark. That's why they will never stop hunting him. Not until they take it back. The hologram ended with her final words. Don't let them find him. Don't let them win. John turned to the sleeping baby. This tiny child, so innocent, was carrying something powerful. Dangerous. The core spark. What have I gotten into? He muttered. Suddenly, a loud buzzing sound filled the cabin. John spun around. The baby was glowing. Not just the skin, but from inside. Like light coming from the bones. His little fingers twitched. His eyes opened pure white for a second, then normal again, and then silence. The glow faded. The baby fell back asleep. John stepped back. Breath heavy. Was that the core spark? He wasn't sure. But something was very clear now. This wasn't just about saving the child. This was about protecting a weapon. A miracle, or maybe both. John sat down, wiping sweat from his brow. He stared at the fire he had been ready for. Quiet life. He had buried his past, his pain, his weapons. But fate had other plans. He heard the alien mother shift beside him. She was waking up. Her voice was soft, weak. You saw it, didn't you? John nodded. I did. Tears filled her glowing eyes. He's not just my baby. He's hope. For many who suffer under Nexus rule. John looked her in the eyes. And now they'll come for him. For you. For me. She closed her eyes again. Yes, and they won't stop. John stood up. Picked up his rifle. Loaded fresh rounds. Then we don't stop either, he said. A soft knock came from the window. John froze. He turned slowly, outside the glass. A drone hovered silently. Small, black, watching. Then it zipped away into the darkness. John's voice was a low whisper. They found us. It began with silence. Not the normal quiet of the forest, but a strange, heavy silence. The kind that made birds stop singing and the wind hold its breath. John felt it first. He stood near the window, looking at the trees. Snow still fell gently, but something was off. Too still. Too calm. Then, the baby cried. Not a hungry cry. Not a tired one. A warning cry. John moved fast. He grabbed his rifle and switched off the cabin lights. He pressed his back against the wall and watched. The baby's glow returned, faint, pulsing. It always lit up before something happened. The alien mother sat up slowly, eyes wide. They're close, she whispered. John whispered back, how many? She closed her eyes like listening with her mind. 4, no 5. Spread out. Watching, John tightened his grip on the rifle. Let them watch, he said. They won't like what they find. Suddenly, the cabin door creaked. It didn't open. It just creaked, like pressure was being applied. Gently. Testing. John raised his weapon. A bead of sweat slid down his face. Then boom! The front door exploded inward, blasting wood and snow across the room. A black metal creature stormed inside, tall, thin, its head glowing red. Its arms split into sharp blades. John didn't hesitate. Bang! Bang! 2 bullets hit its chest. Sparks flew. It stumbled, screeched in a metallic voice, and dropped to one knee. Another alien stepped through the smoke, this one more human-shaped, with dark green skin and armor that shimmered like liquid. He spoke, voice cold and mechanical. "Give us the child." John aimed straight at his head. "Come and get him." The hunter leapt forward. John rolled to the side and fired again straight into the alien's leg. It fell with a growl. Behind him, the mother grabbed her baby and ducked it behind the fireplace. Her body formed a shield around the child. Another creature dropped down from the ceiling, this one with 6 arms and glowing eyes. It moved fast. Too fast. John barely dodged its blade as it swiped at him. He threw a chair, then fired 3 shots into its back. It screamed and crashed into the wall. Then silence again. Smoke filled the air. 2 aliens were down. One crawled away. The last 2 gone. John scanned the shadows. "Where are you?" He whispered. From behind him a voice. "Too slow." A hunter appeared out of thin air, cloaking tech. He grabbed John's neck and slammed him into the wall. John gasped for air. His gun dropped. The hunter raised a blade. Suddenly flash. A bright light exploded from the baby's body. Pure white energy filled the room. The alien screamed, holding its face. John grabbed the metal rod from the fireplace and swung it hard. Crack! The alien dropped to the floor, unconscious. John gasped for breath and looked at the baby. The glow was fading, but it had protected him. The alien mother crawled forward. "That was the core spark. It reacted to your fear." John nodded slowly. "It saved me." Only one hunter remained, now hiding somewhere outside. Then they heard it, a voice from a hidden speaker in the ceiling, cold and cruel. "This is only the beginning. You can't protect the hybrid forever." The voice vanished. Then nothing. No more sounds. No more footsteps. They were gone. John sat on the floor, heart pounding. The cabin was broken, the door destroyed. Smoke everywhere, but they were alive. The mother placed the baby in his arms. "He glows when you're in danger," she said. "He knows who you are now." John looked down at the child. Tiny, glowing, powerful. He nodded. "Then I better not let him down." John lived alone in a small wooden cabin deep in the forest. It was cold that night. Snow covered the ground. The wind howled outside like a hungry wolf. Inside, John sat near his fireplace, drinking a warm cup of tea. He wore an old sweater and thick socks. Life was quiet. He liked it that way. John was a former soldier. He had seen war, pain, and death. After the war ended, he wanted peace. So he moved far away from the city. No noise, no people, just trees and silence. Suddenly he heard it. Knock, knock. John froze. He looked at the door. Who could be out here? No one ever came this far. The nearest town was 2 hours away. He put down his tea, grabbed his old rifle, and slowly walked to the door. Knock, knock, knock. This time, it was softer. Like someone was too weak to knock harder. John opened the door quickly, ready for anything. But there was no one. He looked left. He looked right. Only trees, snow, darkness. Then he looked down. His eyes widened. A small basket sat on the wooden porch. Inside it, wrapped in shiny silver cloth, was a tiny baby, but not a human baby. The baby had soft purple skin. Its eyes were closed. Its hands had 3 fingers. Small antennae poked out from its head. The baby looked peaceful, but very weak. John's heart beat fast. He looked around again. Was this a trap? He saw no one. Then he saw a small paper stuck to the cloth. The writing was shaky and strange, but it was written in English. Please help. My child is hungry. I can't stay. I will die soon. But he must live. John stood still for a moment. He didn't understand. Was the mother close? Why leave the baby here? Why his cabin? The baby let out a weak cry. A sound so soft and sad, it made John feel something he hadn't felt in years. Care. He gently picked up the basket and brought it inside. The baby was cold. Too cold. John quickly wrapped it in a warm blanket and placed it near the fire. He looked at the baby's face, so small, so alien, but still. A baby. John checked for injuries. The baby's skin looked dry. Lips cracked. It hadn't eaten in a long time. But how could he feed it? He didn't know what it ate. Milk? Water? He tried warm water with a small dropper. The baby drank a little. Not much, but enough to stop crying. John sighed and sat back. His hands were shaking. What just happened? He picked up the note again. I will die soon. Those words stayed in his mind. Suddenly, he heard something outside. Thump. Then again. Thump. Drag. Thump. John grabbed his rifle and stepped outside. The snow was deeper now. His boots crunched under the weight. The moon gave a pale light. He saw something at the edge of the trees, a shape. Moving slowly. Crawling. It was her. The alien mother. Her body was thin. She wore torn clothes. Her legs dragged behind her. Her arms shook. Her eyes were glowing faintly. She looked up at him and whispered, "My baby." Then she collapsed. John rushed over. He checked her pulse. Weak but alive. She was freezing. He carried her in his arms, just like he had carried injured friends in the war. Inside, he placed her near the fire, next to the baby. She opened her eyes a little. You helped him," she whispered. "Yes," John said, quietly. "But who are you? What's going on?" The alien mother looked at her child with soft eyes. "They chased us. Bad people. We ran. I had no time. I thought maybe a human would care." John blinked. "Why him? Why trust a stranger? Why me?" he asked. She smiled weakly. "Your cabin had light, warmth. I felt hope." Then she passed out. John stared at the two beings on his floor. A mother and child from another world. And now they were in his care. Outside, the wind howled louder, but John wasn't afraid. Something inside him had changed. The soldier in him had woken up again, not to fight a war, but to protect something precious. He looked at the fire. Then, at the baby, and he made a silent promise. "No one will hurt you. I swear it." The storm hit harder than before. Winds screamed through the forest like angry spirits. Snow slammed against the windows of John's cabin. But inside, it was quiet, too quiet. John sat at the edge of his chair, watching the baby sleep in a basket near the fire. Its skin still glowed faintly purple, and tiny breaths puffed from its nose. The strange cloth around it shimmered softly. The note still rested on the table. "Save my child. I will die soon." John couldn't stop thinking about it. He had seen many things during the war: alien tech, off-world creatures, deadly weapons, but never something so helpless. Suddenly, the cabin shook. Thump. The lights flickered. A deep sound, like something heavy hitting the roof. John stood up fast, heart pounding. He grabbed his old rifle from the wall and moved toward the door, eyes sharp. Another thump. Then a dragging sound. Something or someone was on his roof. Slowly sliding. Then falling. John threw open the door, snow blowing into his face, and then he saw her. A body lay in the snow, just below the edge of the roof. Thin arms, long legs, torn clothes barely covering a bruised body. It was the alien mother. She was crawling, slowly, painfully, leaving a trail of glowing blood behind her. Her hands reached toward the cabin like she was searching in the dark. John rushed to her, falling to his knees. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. He leaned close. "You're alive." Her eyes barely opened. "My child, safe?" John nodded. "Yes, he's inside." She smiled, then coughed thick, dark blood staining the snow. Without wasting a second, John lifted her in his arms. Her body was light, too light, like she hadn't eaten in days. Her skin felt like ice. Back inside the cabin, John laid her next to the fire. She shivered, curling in pain. The baby made a small sound and reached its hand toward her. John watched, surprised. Even without opening her eyes, the mother reached back and touched the baby's hand. The baby instantly calmed down. That small moment, it hit John deep. He moved quickly, boiled water, cleaned her wounds. He wasn't a doctor, but he had field training from the war. He knew how to keep someone from dying, at least for now. As he pulled back a torn part of her shirt to check her injuries, he froze. There was something under her skin, a strange metallic bump near her shoulder. It pulsed with a soft red light. What the hell is that? John whispered. He touched it gently. Suddenly, the cabin lights dimmed. A hologram blinked into the air above her body, red, glowing, and fast-moving images. John stepped back, staring. Chains, screams, needles, burning walls. Alien scientists with black eyes and cruel hands, and then her. The mother, running, hiding, holding her baby tight as explosions lit the dark sky. The images vanished still. Mouth dry. She had escaped. Something terrible. The mother opened her eyes again, weak but aware. That is where they made us, she said in a quiet voice. Where they tested our children. John sat beside her. Who's they? She looked at him, her glowing eyes full of fear. They're called the Nexus Hive. They take children with rare genes, change them, use them for war. John looked at the baby, small, innocent, now sleeping again. He understood. They're coming for him, he said softly. The mother nodded. They will not stop. They will take him, and they will kill you. John stared into the fire for a moment. Then he stood up and walked to the door, opened it, looked out into the dark forest. I fought worse than them, he said, and I won. He closed the door, bolted it tight. Inside, the wind howled. The fire crackled, but John's voice was firm now. I don't run, and I don't leave people behind. He looked at the baby. Then the mother. You're safe now, both of you. The alien mother closed her eyes again, a single tear falling down her cheek. She had found the right human.